Power to the people if you understand, sing for me. Yeah. Power to the people if you understand, sing for me. Say you feel me. Power to the people if you understand, sing for me.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the People's Podcast. I'm your host, Ismail Shahid, hope all is well. Well, we made it another year, 2026, 2025 has been good. On the podcast side, there's some changes, there's some things that we want to do production-wise that we are going to do with the podcast, sound, picture, anything that has to do with production. We're going to get better at. The Almighty be thanked. Continuing on with another year, 2026. So this will be our fifth season, and hopefully it's a good one. We want to thank the people that have supported us thus far, and the support is continuing to grow, and we appreciate it, and we really thank you. But how we really grow is, you go to YouTube, go to our page, like and subscribe. Podcast, the podcast for the people, the People's Podcast by Ismail. You go and look us up on YouTube, hit like and subscribe, man. Help us grow. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts, iHeartRadio. We on most podcast platforms. But hopefully continue to grow with your support, and we appreciate it. We appreciate all the support that we've gotten thus far. 26, going into another year. Today's January 1st, 2026, and here we are, into another year. We're not going to do New Year's resolutions. We don't do New Year's resolutions. It's of my opinion that I feel New Year's resolutions are a marketing scheme, just some way to get you to spend some money. And like I said, it's of my opinion. It's not based on any facts or any research or any data that I pulled from anywhere. It's based on an opinion that I had that New Year's resolutions are a marketing scheme. And I could be right, I could be wrong, but that's how I feel. So, yeah, we're not gonna do any New Year's resolutions, but here we are. And the reason why I'm gonna tell you the reason why I feel that way is because you have from January to February to March, and as we all know, that during that time the gyms are crowded. Everybody's at the gym. Everybody's losing weight. And good health is important. Good health and good conditioning is very important. It's something that we should all focus on and continuously focus on making our lives better, especially based off the food that we eat here in this country. So I was reading something the other day about this prominent businessman in the 1900s. And, you got to keep abreast of the market. I do like to watch the market. I do like to understand the market because my market is ever changing, the plumbing market. So I have to keep up with products and availability, the changing of tools and repair versus replace and what's available for my particular market. So I have to keep up with it. And also I like to keep track of the market to know what's going on. AI is being introduced to so many different things now. So if you don't keep up with the market, or you don't keep up with the times, you're going to get left behind. And that's the honest truth. So again, like I said, this is my opinion based on, but what I want to share, what I read is about marketing, and that's a fact, how they use this marketing. And that's why I'm saying this is another form of a marketing scheme, New Year's resolution. I was reading about this businessman in the 1900s named Claude C. Hopkins, and he was approached. He was, an investor and an advertiser, and he was approached by one of his friends about, a product that he found he was producing, a mint toothpaste called Pepsodent. He said, "This is going to be huge. It's going to be big. How can we promote it?" So he knew that he was the type of guy to promote this. So they came up with a scheme, and they went about promoting this toothpaste, right? So they use something called the Q, a routine and reward, right? And the Q is like if you have plaque on your teeth and you smile and people see your plaque, and, it can't be ignored, something that can't be ignored. So say you feel self-confidence and you're a little, overweight, and it can't be ignored. It's there. So, and then the routine. So they started making advertisements of people brushing their teeth. And I don't know how people remember all this. They started making advertisements of people brushing their teeth, right? And after you brush your teeth, they used to do this. They had this commercial where the shine, a shine, a sparkle, bing, used to come off the teeth like Now that I brush my teeth, that I use this toothpaste, my teeth are going to sparkle with the shine, and that's the reward. And it's the same marketing scheme that they use. When I was reading and explaining that this is a marketing scheme that they use throughout now from that platform that this guy created, Claude Hopkins, that he created, this is the marketing scheme that they use right now across the board. And we see it all over social media. You know, I'm not, I don't look presentable enough. So now you got filters and fillers and this and that. So I don't look presentable enough. I'm going to change my features. That's the routine. Now you got the routine of everybody changing your features, and the reward is you get 20 million likes. Everybody looks, yo, wow, look at that picture, you know? So it's the same thing as New Year's resolutions. And this is just a short example on why I feel it's a marketing scheme, because at that time, because sometimes they give you, and I was watching the news the other day, and I was watching the news, they were giving you basic New Year's resolutions, traveling plans, where you should go for your vacation resolutions, which gyms you should use. What I'm saying, all these things is marketing schemes to get you to spend money. So this is why I feel the way I feel about New Year's resolutions being a marketing scheme. But it goes back to what I was saying about just real honest change. And it is really that simple. It's really that simple. Yeah, that was interesting. It was an interesting read. It was out of a book called The Power of Habit. A famous book. You should read it. But here check it out. No New Year's resolutions. Just get better. Just get better every day, every hour, every second, every moment. Just look at yourself in the mirror, be honest with yourself, and become better. And be sincere and become better. Become better humans, become better fathers, become better mothers, and go from there and grow from there. The podcast here is always about growth, man. We shared a little bit of our life, this last season. I shared a little bit of my story this last season. Of course, I didn't tell, everything, but we'll get into that as the podcast progresses. But, be honest with yourself and be ready for change. Change is difficult. It's very difficult. And, no, people, it scares people. It scares people. So, we're closing out the season. Want to talk about a few things. The world, where were we at? I had a chance to, and I don't normally do what everybody else does, but I got a chance to watch this David Chappelle special on Netflix, right? And it was very interesting. I hope the brother quit that smoking. His lungs can't take that. So it's very interesting, the way he broke everything down. And of course, he put it into entertainment form and made you laugh and think and everything. But it was very interesting the way he broke everything down and basically just saying at the end of it, everything leading up to the end in the middle and everything, broke everything down from having conspiracy theories where we think, oh my God, we know something that's a conspiracy theory and we see this going on and watch this is going on in the news and we got an opinion on it. And this is just our minds, just the way our minds work. But basically saying that the world is chaos. It's absolutely in chaos right now. And again, it's of my opinion. No, it's not of my opinion. It's fact. I mean, based on what we see. We're in a leaderless society. Where's the leaders? Where's the leaders? Every leader now is benefiting off the people instead of being a source of protection for the people, or being a source of guidance for the people, or being a source of justice for the people. I'm a benefit off of all of you. I'm gonna continuously take and take and take and take and take it and take your brain and your soul. So that's the reason behind why we even started the podcast. And as we continue to grow and get better, hopefully you could be the next guest on the podcast. Come on, sit down, listen. We're here to listen. We're here to talk. We're here to grow together. We're here to understand one another. Come tell your story. Come be the next guest on the People's Podcast. And let's all grow together. But getting back to, where we are in this world and the chaos that we see in our streets, in our faces, in our news, we're becoming desensitized to anything that has anything to do with growth. Parents are leaving kids, kids are leaving parents, brothers are leaving brothers, sisters are leaving sisters. I'm just walking away from you. because you triggered me, because you interrupted my peace, because you did something against me. And we didn't even speak about it. We didn't even take time to sit down and say, let me see where you're at, where your mindset is at, and what did I do? And I apologize. We don't have apologies anymore. We can't go through apologies. Now, somebody can't repeatedly do something to you over and over and over again, and that becomes a problem. That's a different issue. But if we have disagreements or there's something that's going on, you know, um, we can't sit down, discuss it. You know why? Because, and this is one thing Pops used to tell me all the time. He used to say, man, son, people must be led. People must be led. You know, um, if you have societies in this type of chaos, then there's a breakdown somewhere in leadership. And and this is a message to any of the would-be leaders that are out there that think they're leaders. You have an obligation. If you think or you consider yourself a leader, you have an obligation to the people. You have an obligation to stand up for justice. You have an obligation to do what's right. That's your obligation if you think you're a leader or some would-be leader that's running around here. You have an obligation. You have to check in on people. You have to find out what's going on in your constituency. You want to be some sort of elite leader. I'm thinking about my constituencies. You are? You are? Or you thinking about lining your pockets? Take, and no justice is being given. This world is chaos. This world is in chaos. It's in the complete utter array. And we are all in this big mess. But what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We're gonna complain. We're gonna keep complaining. We're gonna dive into a bottle. We're gonna smoke more marijuana. These are the things that just killing us more, even more and more and more. Yeah. See what's going on, man. That's a shame. Man. They just these masked guys just jumped out of a van and snatched up somebody, man, and threw him in the van and drove off. That was crazy, man. That was crazy, man. Well, let's go to the liquor store, man, grab something. Go back to sleep. The biggest thing that we have, the two biggest things that we have is our health and our spirituality and our life and our heart. How's your heart beating? Where's the humanity? Where's the love? Somebody just asked me the other night, they said, what's one of the biggest emotions that you're living on or living in right now? And I was saying it's a weird question, but it's an interesting question. And my response to that was the biggest emotion that I'm living in right now is love. And that's what I focus on the most because the most thing that I try to focus on right now, and this is for myself, and we can all, hopefully we could take some type of benefit from it, but this is for myself. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's not. But the biggest thing that I focus on right now is love because I'm the most important thing for myself is increasing my relationship with my creator. So, and in doing so and finding love, as a whole, a lot of people think love is mushy, some mushy concept of love, and love is you singing, everybody's holding hands. That's not love. That's not that's not love. Love. There's so many things wrapped in what love really is, and love could be admonishing a child. It could be admonishing a child, but there's no discipline around love. And you're not saying admonishing like we used to get, I'm in my 50s now, so we grew up. It was whippings and beatings, boy. And, those that know. Your mother was breaking out the twitch in the belt. That's not needed now. But more care for the child, more understanding of what that child is going through, and more discipline in correcting them in their ways. But the problem is because there's no accountability anymore. So now, I'm being corrected. A parent, it's a twofold thing. And somebody was just saying earlier tonight, maybe the parents don't love themselves enough. Maybe the parents don't love themselves enough. Or do you have fear that if I admonish my child or if I say something to my child, then I'm going to lose my child based on what they're experiencing or what they're seeing on social media and everywhere else within their ranks and and the people that they hang around? These things affect there's no accountability whatsoever. Leave the person. As soon as that person says something to you to correct you or stop you from doing something, leave them. They're a trigger. Leave. Don't ever speak to them again. This is breaking up families. We're listening to this stuff. This is breaking up families. Why is this continuously being the outcome of what we do as humans? Of what we do as humans. I mean, we have to seriously look at ourselves. It goes back to why I said New Year's resolutions is just not something that I focus on, and again, that's in my opinion, it's not something I focus on. It's about how we get better. And that's where the People's Podcast hopefully would take us going into the future on how we get better day in and day out. Not by some scheme, not by some, miracle way or something. I'ma just miraculously come up with some crazy words or crazy phrases or something that's gonna change your mindset and all of a sudden you're gonna be this better person. Or I'm gonna give you this medication and you're gonna become this better person. No, no. By being honest with yourself, having accountability, having sincerity, and just good work ethic, everything. Honest. Look at us. Look at yourself. Stay in the mirror. How you stay in the mirror? Everybody stay in the mirror getting pretty, right? Combing their beard, brushing their hair back, putting on makeup, and never look at themselves. Or if you are an individual that is doing that, what's happening? What's happening? You're looking at two things that you may like about yourself and things that you may dislike about yourself. And hopefully the things that you dislike about yourself can decrease within the years to come and the hours to come and the days to come as you progress. Saying, if this is something that you see inside yourself that you dislike about yourself, why not change it? Why not better it? Why not become better? Why not figure out a way to become better? And again, as I say all the time in the podcast, Islam has an open door policy. I mean, we got a lot of hugs and love for a lot of people. Come and join. Come and figure out why, Muslims lead such a lifestyle of peace and tranquility. Why do we live that lifestyle? Because of what we read in, the way of the Holy Nabi and Holy Quran and much more, much more. But how are we doing? Addictions leading to bad habits. What are these addictions that we just can't give up? And man, nobody got it all figured out. Nobody's life is 100% correct 100% of the time. Nobody. So if somebody's sitting there, if you got a guy that's sitting in front of you telling you, yeah, I got the answer for you. He ain't got the answer for himself 100% of the time. Trying to figure it out too. We all trying to figure it out. So who we think we are. That's why I say, come on a podcast. I like listening. Let's grow together. Let's figure out how we grow together. But what I was saying was about the change and some of the things that we're experiencing in the world. With this chaos that we're dealing with. Um, going backwards a little bit. Rewind. Let's rewind a little bit and get back into what I was talking about with leadership, because I don't think I've really touched on that enough. I don't think I really got on that enough, man, because, these, like I said, these would-be leaders have a serious responsibility. They have a serious responsibility. And you see yourself, man, as a figure in this world, and you making money, you making tons of money with tons of influence, and you feeding people bad water, and you giving them bad advice because it's gonna make you some more money. And I wouldn't want to be you at the end of it. I wouldn't want to be you at the end of it, holding the chair with no music left, nobody else left. How the musical chairs go. There's no chairs left, and the music doesn't stop, and you holding it. And you holding, you got to answer for all that stuff the bad advice that you gave people. So if you find yourself if you feel like you're a leader of, and you have some influence in the world, man, be righteous with it, man. Be upright with it. And I hope as a podcast we can grow, because it's not about generating a whole bunch of money. It's not. It's really not. It's about service. Our life now is based on service, and that is it. And everything we do, everything we do. So right now, for myself, I'm in sales, right? And I went to a bunch of sales classes, right? I took so many sales classes. You want to hone your skills. If you have something that you do, you want to work on your talents, and you have to study and you have to understand what it takes to be good at what you do. So you have to continuously sharpen your tools, work on your talents, things like that. So I'm in sales now. I'm plumbing sales, right? And in service as well. I always say service more than sales. So, and keeping that mindset, right? But understanding how, you know, uh, because you're not going to just approach a person and say, this is going to cost you thousands of dollars, out of nowhere. They're not going to spend thousands of dollars with you. They're not going to do it. So you have to make it first and foremost be about service. What service am I providing you for this thousands of dollars that you may spend or may not spend, either or. So I have to make it plain, I have to make it clear, and I have to describe everything from top to bottom as to what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it. Is it going to be done properly? Is it going to be done timely? Is it going to be done with professionalism? All these things have to be explained before you get to that point. So I'm using this as an example because I'm trying to, get us to understand the service part of things first. We haven't gotten to the monetary part of anything yet. We're at the service. So that's the first and foremost. So like I said, our life now is based solely on service, solely on service. And if you focus on that, if you focus on service, going back to leaders, if you focus on service, other things will follow. Other things will follow. You get a little bit of money, the monetary stuff comes. I had said a while ago on a podcast, we were talking about chasing the bag, right? I implore people, people can listen or not. I implore you, do not chase a bag. Do not chase money. If you chase money, it'll keep running from you. You chase that money, it's going to run. It's going to keep moving that way and that way and that way and that way and that way. You're going to think you're getting ahead. It's going to make you think it's very tricky. It's going to make you think you're getting ahead and you're not. You're chasing it. Concentrate on providing a good service as leaders and as people that want to be leaders, or if you want to be leader or not. Concentrate on the service. Stop stealing from people. Stop stealing people's mental, stability and frame of mind and everything in their heart and their money. For what? For what gain at what end? It is the leaders, man. And that's one thing that I want to talk about. I wanted to talk about closing out the year because, going into 2026, it seems more so that people are concentrating on themselves and with good merit. With good merit, concentrate on yourself. It's good to your self growth and your health and everybody's concentrating on mental state, right? How's my mental state? How's my mental space? My am I am I growing? Am I growing mentally or not? Am I losing it? And we all been through things. Who haven't been through things? We all been through. We all have trauma. We all do. Be honest. We all do. Again, go back to being honest. Be honest with ourselves. We all have trauma that we done faced in this world and maybe still face it. We got two things. My brother said the other day, we got two choices behind that. You either gonna rise above it or either gonna make you drown. My teacher used the terminology of and it's going to break your back. Don't let this stuff break your back because you're holding it and holding it and holding it. It becomes tons of bricks on your back and it breaks your back. This is why I said the biggest emotion that I live on and live in, and that was my answer to the guy who asked me the question, is love. Because love, developing that love, whether I have to be firm, stern, direct, caring, kind, emotional, whatever I have to be in whatever situation I'm facing, brings me back to the remembrance of and the thanks that I give to the Almighty Creator, leads me into a emotion of love, living in love, and helps me, you know, fight those things that I may be fighting. Fight all them things that I may be fighting that's stopping me, that's an anchor, that's making my ship not sail the rough waters. You know what I'm saying? You ever see a boat dock, one of those big tanker ships dock, and they let the anchor go? I've seen one of them things fly to the bottom of the ocean, and it's amazing how it holds that ship there, right? How it holds that ship in place. The ship is moving a little, but it can't move when that anchor's way down there, and it flies down there and slams to the bottom and holds that big, huge tanker in one place. And those are the things, man, that we have, those anchors that we have, man, that's holding us there in one place, not allowing us to move. Marketing schemes, New Year's resolutions, got us in one spot. We go from January to February, and then mid-March is gone. Mid-March is like, did I get the new Nike? Did I get the new headphones? What about the iPhone 19's coming out? The iPhone 25 is coming out. And don't get me wrong, man, I upgrade my technology, man. I mean, we all do, right? we all upgrade our technology. But am I married to it? Am I, driven by it? As me personally, I mean, everybody got a choice. Well, there's phrases and things that we'll use here at the podcast that we'll continue to say but it's from our heart, sincere, and sometimes you'll hear it repeatedly, but I mean, that's what it is. Know what you're doing, know why you're doing it, and be prepared to live with the consequence. So there we are. There we are. Everybody's going through it, trying to figure out how to pay bills, trying to figure out how to keep their families together. I hope so. Are we? Are we just walking away from our families? That's another thing. Men, I watch men in 2025, man. Men, listen, where we at? Where we at with it? Man, all men is emotional now and walking away from their families, their wives, man, off a whim, cheating, doing all types of weird stuff. I don't know, man. What's going on with the brotherhood? What's going on with the men? I love, man. I see brotherhood, man. When I see brotherhood happening, um, you know, um, I love it. It's a good sight. It's a good sight to see, when men get together, man, and can be men, real men. It ain't about, Godzilla beating on your chest. I'm not talking about that. That's some old, I don't know what that is. I'm talking about just being men, man. Be honest. Being really honest, man. So where we at? We got to do better. We have to do better. Hopefully, we do better as men, man, and be leaders. That's the issue. Are we leading our households properly? And it's not about, again, I'm not telling you be forceful, be mean, be this. I'm leading. Here, come here, follow me. No, nobody's following you like that. Nobody ain't follow you. Hey, come here, I'm a man. Follow me. I make a lot of money. Follow me. Come on, nobody ain't following that, man. Come on, man. Seriously. Be honest with yourself again. Come on. You hear that repeatedly. I gotta tell us, man, because we need to be honest with ourselves, all of us, man. Looking in the mirror, getting cute and getting beautified for whatever we about to do, some nonsense or some this, some club or something. So, like I said, man, we all been through the trauma, and we either gonna grow from it or we gonna drown or it's gonna break our backs. That's the choices that we have. We're gonna rise. But I pray that we rise. I pray that we rise to the top of this. And we capable, man. We all capable people as a human being. As human beings, we're capable. We are very capable. We're very capable, Somebody asked again in the conversation I was having, about being more deliberate with, how's your movements and this and that. And I was saying in my response again, said that we've done the surviving. We've been in the hood. We've been in the ghettos. So people still in them, trying to find their way. But we've done the surviving. We survived. Now it's time to thrive. How do we thrive? How do we grow from where we're at right now? Because we've done the surviving. We went through the trenches, man. We went through some serious things, man, and the Almighty be thanked came out on the other side. And now we're on the other side. So now it's time to plan. Plan properly, put your movements in the correct position in places. Put good people around you. Good people around you. most important things that you're going to do, man. You have bad people around you, man, and you making bad decisions, and they sitting there agreeing with your bad decisions. They sitting there, yeah. I think you should do that. I think you should do that. Don't let nobody tell you can't do it. Yeah. And then, and the interesting part about it is they know it's a bad decision. They know it's a bad decision, and they telling you to continuously do it because they feel like they being a friend, supportive. I know it's a bad decision, especially for this individual because I know this individual and I know this is not too good. That's not a good road to go down. I mean, I could tell you the bodies that's laying on that road. I could tell you the head cases that are laying on that road. And you telling your friend, yeah, go down that road. Go down that road. And then you secretly calling somebody else saying, I don't know why they doing that. I don't know. You don't know why? You know why? Because you telling them to do it. You ain't say not to. I don't know why they doing that. I don't know what's wrong with them. Come on, man. As a whole, as a humanity, as people, we gotta do better, man. We gotta be better, man. We gotta be better. Man. Now, there is a situation where you find yourself in the chaos that we are in right now for the lack of leaders that we have, right? And you may have to. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. I say good people around you because that's going to be the most important thing, and it may not be a plethora of people, if you understand what I'm saying. Um, it may be one or two people that just are brutally honest with you and very close and have care. And you could tell what care looks like. You could tell what real care looks like. It's a thin line between being brutally honest and disrespectful too. So be careful. Be careful too. Do not disrespect one another because you think you may be better than somebody. You're not better than anybody. We're all facing the same thing. We're all going through the same type things. You're not better than anybody. The better guy or the better lady, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you know who you are. If you're listening, you know who you are. I'm better than you, or better. You stop it. Stop it. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. So, good people around you, and like I said, it may not be a full crowd of people, but it's people that are honest with you and want the best for you. You know what that looks like. You know what that looks like. If you've seen it before, you know what it looks like. So it's very important. It's absolutely extremely important, and it could be a brother, a sister, a husband, a wife. So you find a good teammate, and you'll grow together, and you're finding ways to grow together. Um, and that's a beautiful thing. Marriage is not easy. You have to constantly work on your marriages. It's very difficult. We've been there too. We face troubles in our marriages, and hopefully we can pull through. With the troubles that we face. Counseling may be, some people may need counseling. Some people may need that. They need a third party to get them through. But guess what? Keep pushing. Stop feeding this industry of divorce. This is an industry, another marketing scheme. You're feeding that industry, that monster called divorce. And you're making billions of dollars and people are laughing to the bank. Again, another person that's sitting around you giving you bad advice because they want your money. And breaking up families, hurting children, putting children in foster care. It's rampant. It's rampant. Things that we're facing. And we wonder why our mental stability is our mental state is unstable. We wonder why. But it goes back to the love. It goes back to love. It goes back to finding that relationship, true relationship. If you say you're a godly person, Christian, Jew, Muslim, you say you're a godly person. This is a godly world. In God we trust. Don't we say that? In God we trust. Do we really trust him? Do we really believe him? Are we really reading scripture that's getting us to move forward and become better in our lives and increase our relationship with our Almighty Creator? Are we doing that? Are we really doing that? Ask ourselves if we're really doing that. Or do we go to church on Sunday and sin the rest of the week? Ask ourselves, look at yourselves, man. Look at ourselves, man. And again, why am I sitting here, just closing out this season and hopefully moving into another prosperous season of the podcast. Hopefully we could continue to reach as much people we could reach. Hopefully we could continue to grow, with the podcast. But, I'm just saying what I feel in my heart. I'm saying what I feel in my heart. Speaking, directly from my heart. I had a whole bunch of things written down. Like, I want to say all this. I want to say, I wanted to sound real structured, and I did. I had a nice script written down, and some of it, I'm paraphrasing from things that I wrote down and things that I kept in here and I kept in here. But this is where we at in this world today, and what we see becoming desensitized to the type of stuff that we're dealing with. And it's hurting us as a people. It's really, really hurting us as a people. And I'm hoping that and praying that, in 2026, we can find a way through it. We can find a better way through this rough waters. And that anchor, we could pull that anchor up and start sailing. It's going to be rough. It's still going to be rough. Yeah, it's going to be rough. But your navigation system becomes better. You upgraded. You didn't upgrade the iPhone. You upgraded the navigation system. That's what you upgraded. Let's upgrade our navigation system so that we could get to, the storms coming. Oh, shoot. Take a left. Take a right. Oh, shoot. Going in that rough water, it ain't gonna stop being rough. It may get worse. On 26 may be worse. Especially what we witnessing, boy. It's a whole different world. It's a whole different world. And we act like as humanity, we don't need each other. We don't need each other. We need each other. As a whole, we need each other. We talking about bad leadership. What are the people to do? Unite with one another. Peoples get the leaders they deserve. So we have to change what we're doing as a people, as a whole. Get the leaders to do. We running around committing all these types of sins and everything that we're doing, and not understanding why or how it's affecting us and affecting the people that want to be sitting in the front, sitting up on a podium, looking down at everybody else and passing judgment. Hey, it's our fault. As a people, it's our fault. Bars are packed, clubs are packed, parties are packed. Drugs, we worry about drugs coming into. We're feeding the animal called drugs. We're feeding intoxicants. We're feeding this stuff. We'll continue to keep coming at us because we're feeding it. And there's people making billions of dollars off of these types of industries. Drugs is not going to get us out of our mental state. It's not going to change the mental state that we in. It's not the prescriptions, the everything, the marijuanas, it's not going to change. It's not. It's going to numb you for 5 seconds. You'll be numb for 5 seconds and then worse when you come out of it. I hope we as a humanity, man, find a way to navigate ourselves to better lifestyles and in a quick change. Instead of New Year's resolutions again, man, a sincere change. I pray that for us. I pray for that for us all. I pray. I really do. Looking at the world and how it's, separating children from their fathers and children from their mothers. And kids are now feeling like they're on their own, or they're coming up with it on their own because it's just the stuff they're being fed. So hopefully we as parents could be examples, continue to be examples and continue to be there for our children. Although they may think that we're not, let us try to be as much as we can. Reach out sometimes. Maybe they should, I don't know. 2026, I pray prosperity for people. I pray love for people. I pray you increase the relationship with the Almighty. I pray that your families become stronger. I pray that your communities become stronger through adversity. I pray that you continue to work to make a good living for you and your family and increase on what you're doing. I pray that happiness finds every soul in every corner of this world. The people that are going through it, from Sudan to Palestine to so many different parts of this world, Myanmar, that are suffering in so many types of ways. I pray ease comes to their families and they find happiness through the tragedy that they are are facing. Pray that families that are being split up and separated from their families through deportation find some type of way to hold on to who they have and what they have, continue to try to find and stay in contact with their loved ones. And I pray that this world changes. I pray that we as humanity changes. I pray that we as humanity become closer and more unity with one another, because it is needed. And we need each other. We need each other. We can't grow without each other. I can't grow without my next door neighbor. You can't grow without your next door neighbor. And then when you go outside, right, and you garden, or you have a garden, or you growing some things, and you say, listen, I got a little bit too much, so I'm gonna take some to my neighbor. Let my neighbor eat off of what I grow. Let my neighbor, feel wanted, feel protected around my area. So guess what? When you leave, or you not home, or he's not home, or they not home, they're protecting you. That's community. That's love. That's unity. That's what we need in 2026. And I pray for that for us all. I pray that we all find that. Keep listening to the podcast. Hopefully we have some good interviews coming up in 2000. And you could be the next guest on the People's Podcast. Contact us at the email below and write a little short story about yourself and say why you should be the next guest on the People's Podcast. People's Podcast, we like to hear from people that don't normally anyone hear from, just regular everyday people, not somebody up here on a microphone that's telling you some things that sounds good and they live in some wretched lifestyle in some mansion somewhere. Who cares about what they talk about? We don't care about what they talking about. You, us, me, we, come join us. I'm here to listen. We're here to listen. Very good listener and very good conversationalist. For Almighty be thanked. So let's have a conversation. Again, you can always be the next guest on the People's Podcast. Contact us at that email and write a little short story, a little bio on yourself. And we'll contact and we'll reach out, have a few conversations and build some dialogue so that the interview is not, awkward. And then we'll go from there. How about that? You tell your story. Let your story be told by you. Because we all got a story. We all facing it. Again, we all living through trauma. So we all facing it. We all struggling, trying to pay our bills and do everything else that we try to do and live and survive. Forget to survive. Again, survive. We done survived already. I remember we said that. We survived already. Now it's time to elevate and to thrive and becoming better at what we're doing, and we pray for that for us all. So keep listening to the podcast. We'll be back in a couple of months. We'll be February. Might be back, right after Ramadan, because Ramadan's coming up. So hopefully, God willing, we can fully take advantage of our Ramadan and concentrate on our Ramadan. And then hopefully after that, we'll be back with more exciting and fruitful shows of the People's Podcast for you. So we thank you for listening. I'm your host, Ismail Shaheed. Appreciate you very much. The People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum.